Hey guys, it's Nik the Booksmith. Welcome back, welcome back. Today's case is, it's frustrating. It's maddeningly so. It's not gruesome or grisly or graphic. Gruesome, grisly, graphic. See, that would have been a great podcast name. Now that half of you have probably run away, let's head on over to Marysville, Ohio, and talk about the disappearance of Patti Adkins. Patti Adkins was 29 years old. She's a mother of a 7-year-old daughter. She lived in Marysville, Ohio, and worked at the Honda plant. By 2001, she'd worked at Honda for a decade and had made her way up to a supervisor position on second shift. It was going to be shut down week for the plant, which meant that they were going to close down production for a week, and all the employees got a week off over the 4th of July holiday. Patti was a very hard worker, so when she told her family and her friends that she was planning a trip away with her boyfriend for that week, they were thrilled for her and glad that she was taking some time off. Her boyfriend also worked at the Honda plant in a different part of the factory. They'd been seeing each other for about a year and had been dating on and off even previously. The problem is that her boyfriend was married, but he told Patti that as soon as he could buy his wife out of her portion of the business that he had started, that he could divorce her and he and Patti could be together. Where have we heard that before? So the plan was for the vacation, they were going to Canada to stay in a remote cabin. They were going to take her boyfriend's truck from the Honda plant for that week. So in preparation for taking this trip, Patti boarded her pets at the kennel and made arrangements for her daughter to stay at her ex-husband's house and also her sister Marcia's house. On the afternoon of June 29th, 2001, Patti got a lift with a friend to work and clocked into second shift. She had called her sister Marcia and left a message, reminded Marcia that they weren't going to be having any cell phone service, but that she would call when she was able to. Moments after midnight, Patti clocked out of her shift and left the Honda factory. Now, stay with me. The idea was for her to jump in the back of her boyfriend's truck. He had a tonneau cover over the back that he had purchased especially for this trip. And the reason why she was supposed to get underneath the tonneau cover was so that nobody at the Honda plant would see her hop in the truck and take off. You see, because her boyfriend was married, they were keeping their relationship on the down low. But from what I read, their relationship wasn't really a secret at work. Like a lot of coworkers realized what was going on. It wasn't something that they were keeping secret very well, I guess. So she didn't have any luggage with her, just a small duffel bag, because her boyfriend told her not to bother with bringing any clothes or anything, that he would buy everything she needed when they got to their destination. Well, PSA here. If your married boyfriend tells you that you're going on vacation, but don't bother bringing anything because he's going to buy you clothes when you get there, no, don't go, because you won't be coming back. So during this week, no one heard from Patti, but they didn't expect to because she had said they weren't going to be having cell phone service. When that Sunday came around, July the 8th, Patti still wasn't calling her sister. And Marcia was calling Patti a lot, like over and over. When Patti never answered, Marcia got desperate and decided to call Patti's boyfriend's house. His wife actually answered the phone, so awkward, but told Marcia that he wasn't back yet. So Marcia was relieved because she's thinking, okay, fine, I'm freaking out. It's okay. They're just not back yet. And now she's probably feeling a little silly for calling over there, and then the wife answers and, yeah. But the day kept going on, and that evening, Patti still hadn't called. So Marcia called the boyfriend again. This time when they picked up, he claimed he had no idea what this trip was about and that he barely even knew Patti. He said, yeah, we work at the same place, but I don't really know her. I'm not her boyfriend. I have no idea what you're talking about this trip. I mean, this whole conversation was strange to Marcia because Patti had been talking about him for a year. It's not like this just came about, last week. This was something that Marcia had known about for a long time. So this was really, really bizarre. But he remained adamant that he had not gone on vacation and that she was not his girlfriend. He was married. And another weird thing was that Marcia said he and his wife kept her on the phone for 45 minutes. So if you're adamant that somebody is wrong, that they're accusing you of dating their sister and going on vacation and coming back without her, and you are legitimately like, that didn't happen, you're married, blah, 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 would you stay on the phone for 45 minutes? No, you wouldn't. Okay, as long as we're in agreement on that. By 7 o'clock that evening, Marcia files a missing persons report with the local police. But she was not able to sleep, understandably, and she started looking into the disappearance herself. She called back to the boyfriend's house to talk to the wife and told the wife about the affair that he had been having with her sister. She also mentioned all the gifts that Patti had bought for him, because I guess it was a tradition that wherever Patti went somewhere, she would pick up a little keepsake for him and bring it back to him. The wife said she didn't believe Marcia and began asking her own questions. And after a while, the phone was handed to the boyfriend, who continued to speak with Marcia. But Marcia realized that they were just trying to get information out of her to see what she knew. That's how she felt. So when the police arrived at Patti's house, they looked around and nothing seemed to be out of place. It didn't look like there was a struggle or that she had been taken against her will. Because she had caught a ride with her friend and had gone to work, her car was there, but everything looked fine. The detective spoke to the boyfriend, who swore he was not a boyfriend, and he let the police search his house and his business, and he was actually appearing to be helpful. Then they interviewed his wife, and she just claimed ignorance about it and told the police that he was busy, he had kids, he had a side business, he worked at the Honda plant, he didn't have time to have an affair. And we all know if somebody wants to have an affair, they'll find some time to have an affair, right? So the night that they got off work, they clocked out at midnight. This is what happened, however. The boyfriend said that he was going to take a friend home first, a coworker. And the boyfriend, I should call him something, shouldn't I, instead of the boyfriend. I'll just call him boyfriend and not the boyfriend. Okay. So boyfriend was home by 2:30 in the morning, and he clocked out at midnight, okay? He took a friend home from work, apparently a coworker. He had dropped him off at his house after work after they had gone to Burger King. They said that they had waited at Burger King for 45 minutes to get something to eat. But when the police went to Burger King to check on the story, the night manager at the Burger King said that there was under $20 worth of business done between 11:30 and closing time. He said there's no way that somebody would have waited 45 minutes to get their food. Like, it wouldn't have happened. But the coworker corroborated his story and said that he was dropped off and then boyfriend left and went home. Apparently the coworker said he didn't know anything about anybody being in the back of the truck underneath the tonneau cover or anything like that. The name of this coworker that got taken home is not, I couldn't find it, but anyway, this mysterious coworker that got taken home corroborated boyfriend's story. But all Patti's friends at work knew about this affair. They talked about it often. Patti and boyfriend didn't get to spend a lot of time outside of work together just because of their schedules and him being married. throws a monkey in the wrenches, right? The police found a birthday card at boyfriend's house, and he tried to say that it was from everybody at work, like a whole bunch of colleagues at work, except the thing is that the only signature on the card was Patty's. They found a phone that Marcia, her sister, said that she had bought for boyfriend. There was a Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt that Marcia was actually with Patti when Patti bought this t-shirt for him because they had gone to Florida for like a sister's trip a few months earlier. There were some physical items that connected boyfriend with Patti, no matter how much he tried to deny that they weren't even friends. They were just acquaintances at work, but barely. But there was a lot more than that because of all these items that Marcia was able to see. Well, go look for this and look for this and look for this, and those things were there. So not looking too good for boyfriend. So now the police are like, they're pretty much sure that boyfriend is lying, but there wasn't any physical evidence of Patti herself. They did search the truck and didn't find anything. However, when going over the tonneau cover that had been taken off the truck by then and set in the garage, they found some cat hair on the tonneau cover, which were collected for evidence, and they were confirmed to be from Patti's cats. So there's that. The other little tidbit that should be mentioned is that over this past year that they had been together, Patti and boyfriend, she had lent him over 90 grand. She had even dipped into her 401k. She took out a second mortgage on her house and cashed in some stocks. So he was telling her, I gotta buy my wife out so that we can get divorced, because if I don't do that, when we get divorced, it's just gonna be a mess and blah, blah, blah. And obviously, he had Patti wrapped around his finger because she did this to help him. She's a single mother living on her own, but she did all this to get him money so that he could get out of his marriage and they could be together. She figured it would be okay because, you know, man, he's a good liar. But all of, like, Marcia and Patti's friends, they all said that Patti was insisting that the boyfriend was going to be paying her back over time. She wasn't worried. She'd even talked to him about it before they went on their trip, and he had agreed that he was going to start paying her back the money even sooner. Like, before they even went on vacation, he had promised that. And when they were at Patti's house, the police did find some money bands, like gets wrapped around big bundles of bills. So it was easy to see that maybe she had taken out this large amount of money. I mean, obviously it was all in cash, right? So she gave the money to him in cash because I'm sure he told her, you know, I can't cash a check. You're going to have to give me cash or my wife's going to, you know what I mean? Which is convenient because none of the money was ever deposited into his bank accounts. And so it can't be proven where that money went. Patti's allowed to do whatever she wants to with her money, but if there's no paper trail, they can't prove that she actually gave it to him, even though she had been telling her sister and her friends that she had lent him this money. I know what you're thinking because I'm thinking this too. Boyfriend doesn't look too good, does he? He looks pretty shady. That's some hard circumstantial evidence to overcome. But yet, 20 years later, nobody has been arrested and no trace of Patti has ever been found. She's absolutely, totally missing, which is terribly unfair for her little 7-year-old girl that had to grow up without her mama. However, there are very, very few suspects or even persons of interest in this case. And you can guess who those would be. Just my personal opinion, it seems like the wife was going right along with what her husband was saying. If somebody called me and said, your husband is dating my sister, they were supposed to go on vacation, I can't find her, blah, 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 I don't think I'd be so calm, cool, and collected and blindly just going along with it. I would have to research this for myself and figure it out. I'm sure there are people out there that would blindly go along. I just can't, I don't know, man. But the wife was like, no, he doesn't have time for an affair. That didn't happen. But when all these people are telling you it happened, anyway, geez. Okay, so this is what I think happened. I am not a professional investigator nor detective, but this is my feeling, my gut feeling on this. I think maybe at first the relationship was serious, and obviously he wasn't totally happy, or why would he be having an affair? So maybe he did intend on divorcing his wife at some point, but it was going to end up being too much trouble probably. Maybe he had bad debts and he borrowed the money from Patti and spent it all in other places, paying off debts or whatever. Then the money was gone. He couldn't buy out his wife from the business, so he was stuck. And he's like, okay, now what am I going to do? I can't pay back Patti. She wants her money back. What am I going to do, right? And then decides to go do something drastic. Or the wife found out and said, you deal with this. Get rid of her, we're not paying back that money, or you're not paying back that money, or whatever. Whether she knew about the money part or not, who knows? Maybe she was just mad because he was having an affair. I don't know. Did she have something to do with it? Did Patti get underneath the tonneau cover? And did he drive his friend home and then drive to his house where he and his wife proceeded to do something drastic to Patti? Did the coworker have more involvement than what he was copping to? Maybe the coworker owed some money to boyfriend, or maybe they were just bros. Maybe boyfriend had some information on the coworker and blackmailed him into helping him. So there's some different scenarios, whether it was boyfriend alone, boyfriend and wife, boyfriend and coworker. There are some different scenarios that could happen. Her case is considered cold but active, and she is considered an endangered missing person, not just missing. The police know that something happened to her, that she did not disappear under her own volition, but that somebody did something to keep her from coming back. So, what do you guys think about this? What are your opinions on this? Are you as frustrated as I am that nobody has ever been called to account for this? I know circumstantial evidence in cases, it's hard to prove guilt for just circumstantial evidence, although it has been done. There's some pretty tough circumstantial evidence to overcome. I don't know. If they could find a money trail, that would probably really help. And of course, we don't know all what the police know, but it's also been 20 years and they haven't done anything. So there's that too. So yeah, let's hope that somebody comes forward and says something, because you know somebody else besides boyfriend knows what happened. Either he told somebody or somebody else was there. Whether they drop an anonymous tip to lead the police to get the evidence they need. I can't imagine these people being able to sleep at night. But, you know, a lot of people do horrible, horrible things and continue to sleep just fine. So I guess we'll never understand those kinds of people. Well, now that you are all properly frustrated, you're welcome. That is all I have for today. The next case I'm working on isn't just frustrating. It's going to tick you off. So get ready for that. But until then, thank you all for hanging out with me today, and I will see you really, really soon in the next video. Bye, guys.